are calling. It's twilight time.
Wanda and Vision, aren't we a five-pair?
This is our home now. I want us to fit in.
Oh, this is gonna be a gas!
Where did you two move from? How long have you been married? And why don't you have children yet?
Our story.
I think what my wife means to say is that we moved from...
Moved from where? Married when? Damn it, why?
Oh, Arthur, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Deep in the dark, your kiss will thrill
This is really happening.
like days of old, lighting the spark of love that fills me. With the rings of thunder.
Am I dead?
No. Why would you think that?
Because you are.
Each day I pray for evening just to be.
We are an unusual couple, you know.
Oh, I don't think that was ever in question.
Welcome, swell pals, to the periodic table of awesome.
Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha.
Who are we joined with tonight?
Well, howdy there, honey. I'm Quinny, and it's so nice to see you.
Oh my goodness, this is just a wonderful time. What a swell gang of people that are around. I'm just Dion and having fun.
And you, pretty lady over there, Peter.
Oh, I'm Peter, your swell Australian pal who's come to visit and can't do accents.
Why? Didn't you get the memo? You
If we
silly
exist.
thing.
Yeah. Did Australia exist in the 50s? Nah. Yes. We are indeed all hip cats and fine daddy-os. Thank you.
Yes. Of course we are.
Yeah, damn straight.
Tell us what's going on. Oh my goodness, we've gone black and white. We've lost all color and tone.
I don't know what you mean about black and white. Surely you can see the beautiful skin tone that I have here.
Sure.
No?
Everything
Okay.
looks color to me.
I've still got my radio announcer mic up here. Hello there.
Wandavision.
It's the Wandavision. Oh, it's the well, I mean, I kind of wanted to say hello to like episode 200, but it's not. Is it? Can we know?
Well,
sure. Let's just say I don't know. I don't know math. That's what.
200! Yay!
yay! Happy 200 to you and to you.
Happy 200 to you.
I don't know.
To who?
We're just like in the swing of the
That is a
50s.
different. Yes, it's the swing
Yes, that's right. I
50s.
come home from work, I'm tired, and I kick off my shoes and have a glass of wine with the little lady. Hi.
Yeah, I got tired from beating all those Nazis in WW2, and now I've decided to raise a family.
Yes. You know what? This is what the entirety of the periodic table of awesome is going to be about from now on.
That's it. It's
Yes.
just going to be in 50 style and black and white. Welcome to the future.
I'm super excited for this. Like, I'm really, really excited.
I say.
Why are we black and white? What are we talking about? Oh, you're waiting for an answer?
Yes, sorry.
We're talking about WandaVision tonight, which went out on Disney Plus last Friday. They dropped 2 episodes. Thank goodness, otherwise it would have been a pretty dull night.
Yeah. I think that was a very smart decision on behalf of them to do 2 episodes, because this sitcom inspired the 30-minute or 22-odd minute.
30.
It is 30, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Though I got to say, a lot of that was credits.
Yeah, but fun credits.
I love that.
Yeah, you get to pick apart the credits and find out what's going on in there.
Mm.
Like, because no one knows what the fuck is going on, because the show is just like, it's like a comedy writer has taken just television history and just gone, let's just make it like that. And we don't know what the plot is. No one knows what the plot is. It's just Wanda and Vision. WandaVision. Yeah. Maybe that was the pitch.
Say, it is ballsy. It is ballsy as hell to go, okay, we're going to get 2 characters who nobody really gave that much of a shit about, let's be honest. And then we're going to put them into a sitcom style show that is totally genre busting and go, yeah, there you go. Have some more Marvel. Go on. See how you like that version of it. Mm.
But you know what? It's actually like really interesting to have such a left of field experience from what we've had from Marvel for the last 20, was it 10 years? 20 films? Something like that. But like, I mean, they didn't really get a great crack in the films, and they are beloved to the comic book audience. So why not just explore them a little bit more and do something kooky? I'm really enjoying it.
Absolutely. So let's just have a quick synopsis of what WandaVision is according to the official sources that are Marvel. I'm going to do this directly into the mic.
How are you doing? How's that going to happen, Quinny?
Well, here's the thing. Marvel Studios' WandaVision blends the style of classic sitcoms with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in which Wanda Maximoff, played by Elizabeth Olsen, damn, she's a fine dame, and Vision, played by Paul Bettany, what a swell guy, two super-powered beings living their ideal suburban lives, begin to suspect that everything is not as it seems. This new series is directed by Matt Shackman, Jack Schaffer, its head writer. It debuts on Disney Plus this year. That's right, it's out there now. Sorry, I probably should have edited that a little bit to get rid of some of the boring bits. But you know,
what boring
200
bits?
episodes in, why the fuck are we going to start editing now?
Wait, we supposed to do prep work before this show?
Hey, excuse us. Getting dressed was prep work.
Yeah. Yes, this.
Look at it.
This
prep.
does not
We've
just
done-
happen.
This is a brand.
Yes.
2021, a brand new season
Yeah.
where we're going all out by applying a filter.
And
Yeah.
wearing an overly heated suit, which I am now regretting quite a lot. Like, I am sweating.
Make yourself comfortable, pal.
Well, okay, no.
Oh, okay. So, what are we all loving about WandaVision?
I'm loving that it's such a good bewitched I Dream of Jeannie dupe.
Yep.
Like they're definitely taking some strong cues, some super strong cues, but it's fun. It's playing with the genre, and it makes me, hope that they're going to be doing more of that with different genres, because I'm probably done with that now.
Oh yeah, like I'm pretty sure each episode is jumping through the decade. So we had early 50s and then late 50s in the episode 1 and 2. I think one
Well,
was
actually-
maybe a parody on like the Dick Van Dyke Show. Is that correct?
Yeah,
And
the,
then the
the
second
intent
one was
was that
Bewitched.
first episode was 50s, second
Yeah.
episode 60s.
You got a
so-
pedal pushes
it's
out.
late 50s.
Bewitched starts in 1961.
Really?
Okay, well,
Wow,
still
timelines.
like-
Someone's done their research.
No,
Come on, guys.
I saw people arguing about it online.
fine.
And
Early 60s then. Like you can see them kind of starting to move through, her pants choice when everyone else is still wearing skirts. And it actually makes me kind of wonder, are they moving through the decades at a slightly different pace than the rest of the characters, which would also be.
Well, that excites me as a thing, and I don't know. Do we want the interesting thing we need to talk about? I think straight up the front is: are we talking spoilers? Not that we can spoiler much, but we want to
couldn't
take
if
it.
we tried.
Yeah,
No,
you would
but
like-
we are going to talk about this no holds barred, assuming
So-
that everybody has seen the episodes, which I'm sure they have.
Okay, well then, just in that case, I'm just going to put the spoiler logo up, just in case.
Will it be in color?
Yes, because it has to be. A warning. Because I didn't make a black and white one. Shut up, Quinny. You're ruining it. Come on, the chat's in color, the border's in color, the title's in color. We're just from the 50s or the 60s.
good.
Or
that's
maybe
okay then.
even, film noir. We don't know what's going on.
Well, whatever way we do it, we're going to have a nice time, and it's going to be great.
I want to say that I'm really excited by this because the idea that they're skipping decades per episode is fascinating because depending on how many episodes there are in the season, which I believe don't know currently just at the moment, we could get into like current day, which is fun.
Yes. Well, and a lot of the marketing has been around that. Like the whole idea is that there are posters from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and into 2000. So I have a feeling, I think there's 8 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that's the plan.
Oh, see, that's good then, because I mean, what I loved most about watching the first 2 episodes that we came through was the first one was very different, definitely the 50s skirt kind of Americana wonderful stuff. But I really liked it when she started wearing pants in the second one. I don't know if that makes me just a slight nerd, but it's like, oh, the decades changed, and now she's wearing pants, which would have been unthinkable in the 50s. Like a woman.
Not just
the hairstyle
pants, Dion,
changed.
pedal pushers.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Very
yeah.
specific style of pant.
Never.
But also the hairstyles changed and the set changed. And yeah.
Also, the sequence with them putting the bed together. Very cute, but also that's the thing that happened when you get into the 60s sitcoms, where characters that up until that point, like I think in Bewitched, was the first sitcom where the married couple actually shared a bed. Crazy.
Yeah. And it is wonderful to see that because we're rapidly going through this, it makes me excited because it is like, what are the things you remember? We're just going to throw them at you and then we're going to move on really quickly, which is exciting because this trope would get super old if we just let it, if it was just a whole season of just the 50s. I'd be like,
I think if they'd managed to keep the mystery or the elements that are almost Easter eggy, but the kind of the droplets of there's something else going on. If they had that all the way through and it was an entirely set in the 50s type thing, I'd probably still be on board with it.
Yeah, I agree. If the mystery unraveled throughout the series, you'd still be able to keep me in that world.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a little part of me that sort of is like, oh, I'm almost going to miss when we get out of the black and whites. Well, I mean, we're out of the black and whites now, but there's
But it's so fun to explore all those genres because it's a nostalgia thing as well. Like I know, especially when they're going to get to the 80s sitcoms, I'm going to enjoy that quite a lot.
Yeah. Well, okay. What are our favorite 80s sitcoms? Like I'm struggling to think of a great 80s sitcom that I'm excited for. Oh, I thought that was 90s.
I don't know. Was it? Was it like a late 80s?
I'm hoping that there's some kind of Who's the Boss reference. That's
what was some kind of, well, I mean, if there's not a Full House reference, it's just fucking pointless.
Guarantee.
Yeah, but considering it's starring one of the Olsens.
Yeah. She wasn't officially in the show, but
no, but you know.
Yeah, I know.
Somebody did point out that if the 90s one doesn't reference Full House and start with her face going like her sisters, then somebody needs to be fired. And I'm like, you know what, totally down with
Family Ties. That's 80s.
Oh,
that's 80s as hell.
God, I love Family Ties.
Family Ties, yeah.
And I remember thinking that Alex P. Keaton was one of the coolest people in the world. And now, as an adult, I realize he is the kind of person who I loathe.
Yes, well, I mean, we can't all be winners, Quinny.
Oh, wow. Wow. I don't know how I feel now.
But, okay, right. Sorry about the slight sidetrack. Into family.
80 sitcoms we don't even know are going to be a part of Wandavision.
Well, I mean, if you watch the trailer, you kind of
yes.
get
Watching the trailer,
idea.
I'm pretty sure there's like a Growing Pains reference in one of them. Like the set definitely looks like the house.
Yeah, I mean, I think the next one they're switching to is the 70s kind
Sonny
of
and Cher
60s?
type thing.
Yeah, 60s, 70s, not sure. Yeah. But, I mean, I think one of the greatest things I can see just from the trailer, and after watching the first 2 episodes, I'm really excited about seeing is how they keep trying to magic Paul Bettany into different costume versions of the Vision throughout as it goes through, and I'm like, that's amazing. Like, what do they want to do the first time around? They make it kind of a Bewitched thing.
Yes,
like 50s Bewitched crossed with I Love Lucy crossed with fucking that other one, and then in the second episode where they were just like, oh, we're gonna make it a 70s Bewitched thing or 60s Bewitched thing. Yeah, well, when the transition when they went from like black and white to color, I mean, if they switched out Paul Bettany as a different actor, I would say
that would have been perfect.
I didn't think of that.
Because it had suddenly gone from being Dick York to Dick Sargent.
Yeah, the two Darrens. just got to, you got to remember all these things. But because we know these jokes, and I think the people writing these know these jokes as well, that I wouldn't put it past them to throw shit in there like that.
So, okay, just as a bit of background, where did we get up to with Wanda and the Vision in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? From what I can remember, and it's been a while since I watched Endgame or the other one. At this stage, Vision's dead. Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Spoiler, Quinny.
Sorry. Hey, you've got the signal, the thing. It's on the screen.
Sure. Yeah.
So, as far as we're aware, Vision was killed by Thanos by removing the Mind Stone from his head.
Yes.
And then what did we see Wanda do?
She got real angry.
Yeah.
And
then they reversed time, and then it happened again.
Oh. Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow, doing it twice. That's rough.
And
That's a real kick in the ass.
the last time we saw Wanda, wasn't it at the end when she was on Cap's left, coming through the portal, wasn't she? And then it was that great scene of
everybody kicking ass.
Many people kicking people in the buttocks and stuff.
Yes, she came back from the snap, but Vision did not, because he was not a death as a result of the snap.
So I guess my question then goes, and this is fucking hard nerd Marvel stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Where did the stones end up? Because we know that
Back where they were supposed to be.
Cap did the thing of dropping them back through time.
Yes.
So do we know what happened to the Mind Stone?
Well,
Never you mind there,
we
Quinny.
don't. We don't.
Yes, that sounds like you're asking too many questions.
I don't think I'm asking enough, because the thing that, like, whilst I'm thoroughly enjoying the 50s 60s vibe and the extraordinary depth or energy they're going to recreate that, what I am loving is the amount of just layered Easter eggy shit that they are putting in this series. Like, this is a gold mine for anyone who loves digging in and finding the Easter egg stuff. So I have started going way down the rabbit hole on this. My name is Quinny, but I'm shortening it to Q. And there is some really interesting stuff in there, like that is referencing stuff that's been established, like Wanda being from Sokovia, having a European background, but
she's
also
European.
Sorry,
she's European.
Yeah,
she's generically European.
Yes, traditional greeting.
And there are theories about whether or not this is, well, I mean, a lot of theories about this is that this is her mind recreating a happy life for herself, based on the childhood TV shows that she watched.
Yes, I would like to go deeper into that, Quinny, because I have two theories that I have from the internet that I think are really fantastic and probably accurate. And it's to do with the 2 commercial breaks that happened within the episode.
Oh, did we like the commercial breaks?
Yes. So can I just say, spoilers for everybody, the first episode where we see the Stark Industries toaster, because of course Howard builds a super soldier and then just comes back and starts building toasters.
Of course he does.
But also the Vision is a toaster, technically.
The beeping, I believe, is reference to the Stark bomb that killed her parents, and she was trapped with her parents' body for 3 days, I think it was, until they were rescued, and it was a Stark bomb that killed them. And the second episode, the Strucker watch, is a reference to Baron von Strucker, who was the guy that experimented on her and her brother and gave them their powers.
Oh,
hence the Hydra logo on the watch.
Hail Hydra.
That's less like I always kind of want to do a bit of a Hail Hydra, but I feel really uncomfortable with these days. Not into it.
And what's the other theory that you pulled off the internet, Jill? Something about QAnon?
Yes. But everyone knows me. I'm not anonymous. I'm just...
And also, can I point out that she doesn't have her Sokovian accent in this show?
Oh.
No. Good point.
Mm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, isn't it?
Sounds like she needs a dialect coach. Quinny.
Hey, I've been told by Beck that my Scottish accent sucks, so I'm not going to be doing accents ever again.
Well, just the Scottish one.
Except for 10 minutes ago. But
Yeah, except for
never again.
Never again.
Hey, shut up. Cha, cha, cha.
It sounds like there is a
Never
lot
again.
to dig into, and it sounds like every episode is going to give us more and more to dig into. It does make me wonder how far-reaching this show is going to go in terms of audience, because if you don't know the layers, just like face value, you're coming at this show with not very much except maybe seeing the movies once. Those 2 episodes would have been kind of tough to get through because the shows that they are parodying are kind of one-note shows. So it makes me wonder. I think they're lucky that, not lucky, they know exactly what they're doing, and Marvel has a huge fandom, but whether this is a show for everyone or this is a show for the fans.
Yeah. I mean, I think a casual audience could still find some enjoyment in it. I thought that they were like really fun in their own right, and the stories that they were telling. Like, I loved the talent show with the magic act. I thought it was
For the
just really
children.
cute and fun. Like, I don't think it had to have deeper meaning, but it is there for the diehard fans, and I think that's an important thing too, is to cater to all sorts of audiences. I think they might be doing it.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing that this is definitely very much a show because we have a Marvel Cinematic Universe now that has stretched over a decade, that people they're just going into things like, you already know these people, like, here's a show about them. We have so much involved in those properties that no one needs to worry about having to reestablish it. Like, I mean, I would have been super annoyed had any of this been, and so here's how Wanda and the Vision got their powers. I would have been like, oh, for fuck's sake. But this one is just kind of like, finally, like, you've had Marvel movies for 10 years. Anyway, here's 2 side characters. Go for it. It's nuts.
Though I'm kind of with Peter on this one. I think that they are such kind of B-list characters that it is almost a very difficult jumping on point. And I mean, also, it's been a year since there's been any Marvel. So I do think this was probably intended to come out in the middle with a bunch of Black Widow and some other stuff.
Was. Yeah. Due to COVID, the whole slate has been shuffled. So
this is a weird outlier.
We were supposed to get Falcon and the Winter Soldier first, and then this was just going to be another one they slipped in there. But no, they broke the ice with this one.
I'm sorry, I've got to say, there are a lot of things I don't like about the world right now, but I love that we live in a world where we can be like, gosh, it's been a year since we've had any Marvel. Like, it's just like, we've been so deprived.
We have, truly.
Yeah.
I actually haven't been able to bring myself to like rewatch Endgame. It just crushed me. But so I've gone back to like the really early stuff and just like reliving the good old days.
Like the Dolph Lundgren Punisher.
No,
nobody's ever going back to relive that.
Not the ancient times, Dion.
But look, can I say, I really think that Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany are putting in so much effort and so much hard work. They actually did a 2-week intensive TV workshop to learn how to act for TV. And the episodes are filmed in front of a live audience.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. So the sets are all like to an audience, and they have a live audience there that are reacting to the jokes as they film it. So
hopefully COVID safe
sets really, they look like TV sets too.
I think
like,
they are just doing a brilliant job, and like really, I don't know, earning their stars as these characters.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, and it's funny because you look back at Age of Ultron, which is where those characters came from, and it's kind of the shittiest of the Avengers films.
Yeah, unfortunately, like, I mean, it wasn't Joss's best work, and neither was Justice League, but
no. This is how we found out that Joss was fallible.
Yes.
I mean, there are many other ways that we found that out.
But you know what? You got to try and redeem those characters if you're going to have them as part of your arsenal. I think you have to make sure that everyone's pulling their weight.
And the thing is, I think this is actually building into something really big. Like there are some things that are scattered throughout there, and the theories that are running around online are massive. Like we're talking universe shifting theory. So one of the things, and this is a tiny, tiny little Easter egg in there, there is a wine bottle in episode 1 that is labeled Maison du Mépris, which translates as House of Misery or House of M. So, Dion, what's the House of M? And Peter, have you ever heard this before?
This is something I have not heard of.
There is not enough time. I'm going to let you look it up. No one wants to listen to me bang on for 45 minutes.
Peter, it's a major storyline that included Wanda in the comic books.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, Wanda has psychotic break, creates her own universe and country and everything because she has infinite power and no understanding of how to control it. No one knows how to do that.
We're seeing right now.
Yeah, lots of parallels.
Including the pregnancy.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
Which is. But I mean, you're dragging it back to the actual look and feel of these things. I was just astounded about how well they have managed to capture sitcom Americana, especially because everything is filmed, as we find out. Like everything's filmed in color, and all of the set and the costume design and everything is amazing. But it's just like, oh my god. This is so cool. How expensive is this? This could only happen with Disney money.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this is kind of like where, and like what we're saying about the shows, as Q, you were saying it could go to really big things. I mean, where could it go? House of M. Where is it also leading to? Secret Invasion. Where is it going to? Like, I don't know. There's so many things out there.
Can I tell you it's leading into Doctor Strange 2?
Yeah. Very definitely.
Because unless you are an avid reader on the internet, Wanda is pegged to be the villain in Doctor Strange 2. So who knows how this series is going to end.
Yes.
And I love how all of these things kind of knit
Don't you
together.
just?
So good.
As a comic aficionado, you love it up to the point where it's so convoluted. Like where the fuck are we now? Where are we?
But I think that's the lovely thing about the MCU as it has existed so far is that it is so incredibly well planned. I think the convoluted stuff kind of happens when somebody goes, what are we going to do next? I guess we can do this. Oh, but that messes with this. We'll just make another universe. It's fine. Whereas this all just it just feels so well planned out for so many steps ahead, which is what makes it really exciting.
And the thing is, it's tying in things that a lot of people weren't expecting. So like there is actually characters showing up in this who were in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So one of the other guys in the office with Vision is one of the agents from the TV series Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, damn.
The mailman. Yeah, most people did. The mailman is also somebody from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. All of these characters that are just showing up in the backgrounds who were kind of just, nobodies, S.H.I.E.L.D. agents or, in fact, SWORD agents.
SWORD now, yeah. And can I point out that they've renamed SWORD? The W now doesn't stand for world, but stands for weapon. So it's sentient weapon. So which is a little bit more relative to what Wanda may be.
Well, I love the idea that they're actually, this group who are watching and overseeing something that is like, well, shit, this could be incredibly dangerous. We'd better keep an eye on this and see what happens. I mean, there are so many theories as to, is this all being created by Wanda? Is this her brain trying to recreate a happy time? Is it her going through a complete breakdown? And I mean, the moments where she's trying to do all the magic at once and getting stressed and freaking out, they were proper creepy.
Yeah.
And I the bit with the helicopter.
Oh, I liked the bit with the boss like choking on the food and
Oh yeah, that was
that
proper
weird bit.
creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I can't do anything until Wanda tells me. It's because Wanda's telling herself.
Yeah.
I mean, is it? Who knows?
And then the bit at the end where, you know, the beekeeper guy is there, but then she's like,
yeah,
no.
what's up with the beekeeper? Yeah.
Who's also another actor from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh god, I couldn't see him. It's too dark.
I've really got to go back and look at some of these layers.
I do need to finish Shield though.
Yeah, I got to
Yeah,
finish
me
S.H.I.E.L.D.
too. That kind of got a little bit difficult.
It got away from me.
Yeah, it got away from them.
Yeah.
So look, what we know is we have more questions than answers.
True.
Mhm.
But do we feel confident 2 episodes in to give it a rating? Or is it more, here's our first impression, check in with us later?
Look, when we get to the end of the season, I'll give it 100 and we'll talk about it then.
But for
so
now-
far, I am very much enjoying it.
Yeah. For now, I'm just going to be giving just a casual 100.
Yeah.
An anticipatory 100 perhaps.
An anticipatory 100, I like that.
I'm just excited to have
yeah.
something on a Friday to watch.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
I had
now that
I had the Mandalorian, just something I could be like, it's time for Mando Friday, and now I'm like, nah, time for Wandavision
Disney
Friday.
o'clock.
Yeah, Disney o'clock on Friday night, which
Well, I
makes
always
me-
remember Sunday nights were Disney o'clock when you have the Wonderful World of Disney at like 6 o'clock on a Sunday night. That was a happy time. Well, now Fridays, and I really hope that they do some kind of making of behind the scenes
Yes,
series.
like they did for Mandalorian. I'd love to see that.
I feel like there's so much, and I would love at some point in time for them to just go, okay, here's all the shit we layered in.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
you know,
So now
here's
you want-
what we did.
Now you just need, is this the thing? You just want the little booklet of like, oh, here's all the stuff that you missed. Like you want the expanded notes.
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Right, okay, yeah, I see that now. Yeah.
Yes.
We should,
Yes.
Fair enough.
Give me that.
Fair enough.
Give me all the extras.
I mean, yeah, I personally, I find it incredibly hard to rate it because, yeah, those 2 episodes were a good taster, but they weren't enough to
It's
go
enough to
on.
get you excited, but not enough to pass judgment, I think. And that's where I'm at. And because I don't have the knowledge of the universe that you guys do, I think I am missing layers, which does make it, and I've, have been super excited for it, and I'm super excited to watch more, but it wasn't as fun a watch for me as it might have been for some people.
Time
so
to give
far.
Peter a crash course in Marvel history.
Well, I mean, there's chatter in the chat about people saying, "Hey, I'd really like a comic book podcast," or and
Yeah. Three episodes is I have a 3 episode rule. Whenever anybody recommends something to me, I watch the first 3 episodes no matter how much I hate the first one, because I think it takes 3 episodes to tell in a TV series. So I'm going to respectfully say, check in with me later.
fair enough.
Fence sitter.
Watch this
fence
space. Stay
sitter,
tuned.
fence sitter,
Stay tuned for
fence
more.
Sitter.
Fence sitter.
She's lawful neutral,
Yeah. So
Well-
Dion, is your rating 100?
No.
Good. Excellent.
Look, it's 80 only because don't really like how the credits are placed, but it does make sense. But I am having a good time watching it, so yeah, like it's good. They're the only 2 things that annoyed me. It's like, oh, the credits seem weird and out of place, but that's what the whole show is supposed to do. It's supposed to make you feel weird and out of place, and ask the question, what the fuck is going on? And I like a little bit more creepy would be great.
Yes. Yes.
I want it to be adult
Definitely
and
a little bit more creepy would be. Mwah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
creepy. Yeah. Or, I think Predator just said, yeah, and some sort of spoiler / stinger at the end of the credits would be nice.
Yeah, I
That's
want
what
more
everyone-
stingers.
Oh.
I'm a sucker for those.
I want more of the ads. I
yeah.
dig how weird that is.
Mm.
Jill, do you have a rating? Have you?
Yeah, it's an anticipatory 100. But
Ati-
no,
oh, okay,
seriously,
right, okay.
No. Honestly, probably
fuck.
like 90, because I
Okay.
do want it to be a little bit weirder. Because I love all the happy, like wholesome moments, but then I just want it to flip on its head and freak me the fuck out.
Yeah.
I didn't quite get
I don't
that.
want to get scared to death.
Yeah, I want it to grab me by the balls and say, "Look what's going on," but not really tell
You want
me.
it to what?
She wants it to grab her by her lady balls, and that's fine.
Sure.
If you were forcing numbers from me for the purpose of having to do math, I would probably, I'd go 75 at the moment, because I'm not seeing the layers that other people are seeing, and just, you know, from a bare like enjoyment of watching it point of view, that's where I'm at the moment.
Well, I've got about 850,000 comics for you to read then, Pete.
And I look forward to getting stuck into that as soon as I've started and finished Discworld, because that's a commitment that I made last week that I'm sticking to.
Are you enjoying that?
I haven't started. Well, I'm halfway through another book. I've got to finish.
Okay.
I've got to finish A Darker Shade of Magic before I start Guards. It's like a whole thing, but it's going to happen.
Okay.
There are things happening, Quinny.
Okay, my number is going to be an 86. I really enjoy it. I loved where it's going, but more than that, I'm actually enjoying the fandom reaction to it. I'm enjoying the amount of people digging in and going, okay, what's the symbol on the helicopter? It's a sword symbol.
Analyzing everything.
You know, what's Monica Rambeau doing? Oh, okay, yeah, sweet. Who's that character? And people just throwing fucking crazy ideas out there. Like, you know, maybe the lady who is what's the name of the
Agnes?
Well, Agnes, but the one who runs the PTA, you know, for the children.
Oh yeah. For the children.
Is that Mephistopheles? You know, all of these fucking crazy ideas that I'm like, I am here for this.
And then Jean Grey comes back.
Yeah, no. And somebody did say, hey, you know, is this going to be a way of introducing mutants into the universe? I mean,
that's a question that everyone has been asking forever, is how do we get mutants into the Marvel universe?
And I think that'd be the best turnaround of all, because part of the House of M thing was that Jean Grey, fucking Wanda, decided I'm going to get rid of all mutants.
Well, most of them.
Well, yeah. And so wouldn't it be nice if in this version she was the one who was like, no, I'm going to introduce mutants.
Way more mutants. That's the
more
catch cry
mutants.
for...
There needs to be more people who are fucked up as me.
Mutants.
And Elskanogga, it could well be a Get Smart reference. If there was a Get Smart reference in this, I think it was the gears that we saw inside Vision that reminded me an awful lot of Jaime. Which I thought was a lot of fun. I love the magic in that sequence too, where it's like, hey, I'm actually doing some magic. I'm going to change reality to fix that. I dig it.
Sounds like we're going to have fun peeling back the layers for the next few weeks on this one.
Just want to say, Peter, that sounded incredibly creepy.
Gonna peel one by one.
Peeling back the layers.
Yeah.
Like an onion, not like a person. Jesus.
What about like a parfait? About like a parfait.
Something like that.
Nobody like that.
Shrek
Unlike a 50s TV show and more like a 90s DVD box set, we have some bonus content this evening.
Yes. Do we get to go back to being full color now? Or?
Yeah, sure. If you
I
want
like being black and
If you
white. I
want
look
to.
really good.
It's like someone hex power me.
Okay.
Ah.
Hey!
Oh!
Wow, that was so good. Hang on, can somebody hex power me, please?
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
Do me.
Okay, hang on.
Hey! All right, my turn.
Jill.
Hey! Or hang on, I'll do one of these. Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We are massive nerds.
Wow.
Somehow we've done this 200 times, or some of us have. Some of us have done it
Not
fewer
me.
times.
I'm not that old.
I'm going to lose this jacket. I'm dying of heat.
So we thought that we would each choose one favorite 200th episode of something to discuss for our kind of sort of 200th episode.
Give or take.
Give or take. So just to explain that, I mean, last week we just didn't want The Watch to be our 200th episode.
Hell no.
But also, we then went back and looked at some of the numbering and went, there are two 190s. there's a bunch of ones that don't have numbers.
Oh.
So
I mean, look, it's the thought that counts, okay?
It is. We're
Yes.
taking the time to celebrate now, and that's all that matters.
And the watch sucked, so we weren't going to call it number
Yeah.
200.
yeah, no, we refused. So yeah, we decided that we were going to look at what our favorite 200th episodes were. And I decided at that point to go and find out how many shows have hit the magical 200, because I did have a bit of a thing going, are we really going to do this? Like,
Yeah.
we're going to do 200 episodes? There aren't that many.
We could have done Young and the Restless or Days of Our Lives. I've probably had more like 2,000 episodes.
Bold and the Beautiful. I have a list in front of me.
General Hospital.
Currently, the Neighbours. Want to take a
Yeah.
punt? Want to just a roundabout kind of number?
Neighbours.
8,500.
Up.
I mean, this thing has been running weekdays since the 80s.
Oh my goodness.
Mhm. Neighbours up until March 18th. Currently in production, 8,500 episodes.
Oh my goodness.
And that's not even like the top of them all. There is the top episode count of anything
Yeah.
is an animated series from East Germany that is still in production, started in 1959. It's called Unser Sandmann. So essentially something about, I want to say Enter Sandman, but I'm pretty sure that's not it.
Sure. That's what it is. No problem.
Which has 22,200 episodes.
Oh my God.
Sure.
Yeah.
And just
So-
and one producer who's done all 22,200 episodes, and one animator who's very tired.
Dead.
They started as a 6-year-old in 1959 and and is still drawing today like this.
Please let me go.
Let me die.
I mean, fuck, there's 900 episodes of Australia's funniest home videos.
Ew.
Yeah, but that's not really television. Clip shows
I'm
aren't
going to
television.
assume that we've each chosen a 200th episode of a series that we actually watched and liked.
Yes.
Up to, if not more than 200 episodes.
Yes.
Quinny, do you want to start us off with yours?
Look, I asked a bunch of people.
It's the show that he loves to hate.
It's true. I'm even wearing a shirt that I should be able to rip open, and I don't have one underneath it. So, otherwise, I would have been dying of heat. 3 layers? Fuck that. So yeah, my 200th episode was, I asked people on the internet, what do you think it'll be? Of course, it was Smallville. So this was a series that I aired here in Australia for only the first 3 or 4 seasons, and then it kind of disappeared off free to air. And I'm pretty sure it only ever showed up on Foxtel for quite a long time. But through alternate means, I went and continued watching it, because even those first 3 seasons, I'm like, this is kind of shit. But then they'd do something. There'd be one little part of an episode that would make me go, oh, they did a Superman thing. Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
And
It
so
was the,
for
treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen attitude of
Abso-fucking-lutely.
DC back in the day.
yes,
So just give them the utmost rubbish and then just sprinkle in a little bit of this.
Smallville is
yeah,
the,
yeah.
is
It was the Salt Bay of just like,
Yeah.
here's some lore.
Yeah. Yes.
Here's the bit that reminds you of the movie from 1978. We're just going to use a tiny bit of the music. Here's a little bit of the Fortress of Solitude.
Smallville's like an ultimate, kind of terrible toxic relationship where it's just like, oh, I'm just going to be really boring, and then just a little bit for
Just
you.
when you think you're gonna dump me,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
when
yeah.
I pull
That-
out
that-
the
And then, but that happened the entire way through. How many shows, Quinny? How many years was Smallville?
10
10
long
years.
fucking years. I loved it because like they kept most of their main cast for 7 years, and then at the end of season 7, like the main bad guy, Michael Rosenbaum, was like, "Nah, fucking him out."
Fair
Like,
enough.
I have done enough of this shit.
Yeah.
And what's more, I've shaved my head every year, 7 years, so I can play this character. And then they tried questionably for 3 years to find another villain who was equally as interesting, and failed miserably. But yeah, then right in the very last episode, he came back and it made everybody happy. Or me, anyway.
Yeah, because Lana sucked.
Oh, fuck, I hated her.
I hated her so much.
So the last 3 people watching the show were very
Yeah.
happy with.
It was me, Quinny, and some other dude. The one
Yeah.
that wrote it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Miles Miller and everyone. Yes, everyone hated Lana, but they were very smart. Eventually, they got rid of Lana Lang and brought in Lois Lane, who was Erica Durance is a much more entertaining actor and a lot of fun.
Yeah.
She brought energy to the show and really kind of brought it kind of back to life. But throughout the course of that show, they did Justice League at one point, like a proto Justice League. They did the Justice Society of America. Michael Shanks played Hawkman.
Yes, yes.
It was one of the stupidest things I've ever seen, but I loved it.
I'm like, of course, Daniel Jackson's Hawkman.
Totally. It's all about the Egyptology and stuff.
Exactly.
There was an Aquaman.
There was.
Oh my God, it was a terrible Aquaman.
Yeah.
But it gave us the hottest Green Arrow.
Ah, yes. I love that they did. Dr. Fate was ridiculous, Casper. That is correct. But I love that they did Green Arrow because they couldn't quite work out the licensing or the legal rights to get Batman in.
Yeah, they couldn't do Batman, so they're like, well,
I could just do Green Arrow, who's basically Batman, except with bows and arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I love that series, and the 200th episode of it is called Homecoming. It's from the very last season of the show, and it's one of those ones where like the last episode, wasn't actually that great of the show. Like it didn't end particularly well. But there in the last season, they did a couple of things that were really, really lovely. And this was one of those episodes where they not only introduced Clark to the Legion of Superheroes, so they had James Masters come back as Brainiac, but as Brainiac 5 or whatever he is from the future, to show Clark his own future, and takes him into like 5-10 years into his own future, where I think they do a better job of doing Superman stuff than a lot of other stuff. So do we have a clip, Dave? Or is this going to be another Elf issue?
Funny you should say that. I believe that I'm going to give it a red hot go, but the order that I had them, anyway.
Sorry.
The order that I had them it was not this way around, so bear with me. Sure.
Okay.
I'm going to go.
Okay.
Yeah. Hail,
Yeah, I'm gonna
three Hail Marys and pray to whatever God you've got that I'll be able to.
Casper's like, let's go on that ride.
Everybody cross your fingers.
Yes. Everybody wiggle your noses. You do your magic.
No, it's not going to start that way, but here we go. Yeah, this is Smallville.
Nope. This one. We were in a cloaked cargo ship on a simple
Nope.
3-hour
Hey!
That's Daniel Jackson, but different.
Yay! I need to get back. Look, the Legion ring is the only way to do it.
Back. Okay, listen, why don't you check your trunk of tchotchkes at the farm? Isn't that where you keep all your go-to phantom catchers and fortress discs and stuff? And if you need me, I am there. No deadline is more important than you. Going up, you're going down.
She's a handful, isn't she?
Oh my God. That was a fancy, Superman.
Yeah. And that was the closest we ever got to seeing, Tom Welling do a traditional style Clark
What did
Kent.
you never see in Smallville?
No.
Never ever see the suit. Never.
It made me so fucking angry. I even had words with Tom at one point. I was like, the fuck, dude. You never put on the suit. He's like, nah. I was like, you didn't even try it on and do it, try it. And he's like, nah. So in the last episode, he rips open the shirt to reveal the shield. It wasn't even a full suit. It was quite literally just a piece of fabric taped underneath his thing because he refused so hard to wear the suit. And last year in the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover as a part of Arrowverse, he showed up again and still refused to wear the fucking suit.
Wow.
So it's a fun episode. I mean, I can't remember whether Lana actually shows up in it, but I'm pretty sure Chloe does.
Oh, they let her out an Nexium for the day?
Apparently. Yeah. So I love that one, and I wanted. This gave me that little hint of the Superman show that I could see in the future. And it was nice. So that is my 200th episode. Dion, which one should we go to next? You're the one who has the clips.
Who wanted that really long series that had that Michael Shanks guy in it? That was the first clip that came up. So go right ahead. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so my 200th episode is from Stargate, which is going to be my most favorite sci-fi TV show ever. And the episode is called 200.
Strangely enough.
This was also in the 10th season. Funnily enough, all 10 seasons seem to have 200th episodes.
I guess numerically, that's how it has to be.
Yeah. It was its final season as well. By that stage, most of the main cast was still there, except for Richard Dean Anderson, who had moved to like a smaller guest appearance role. So they changed his lead character to Colonel Mitchell, who is played by Ben Browder, who you may know from Farscape.
Just to confuse the issue.
Yeah. Also joined by Claudia Black, who is also from Farscape.
Just to confuse the issue.
Yep. So the 200th episode is all about Colonel Mitchell's 200th jump through the Stargate, except they keep experiencing technical difficulties, so they never actually get to jump. And a humanoid alien of whom they rehomed on Earth became a Hollywood writer and wrote a TV series called Wormhole Extreme that was loosely based on what happens at Stargate Command and has now been charged to write a screenplay for a film for the series. And of course, he comes back to Stargate Command to get some advice from everybody on what could go in the film. And so while everyone's waiting around for the Stargate to get up and running again so they can go on their mission, they start pitching ideas for a movie. So everybody's got their own ideas. Wizard of Oz gets thrown around out there. A Thunderbirds parody where you get to see them all as Thunderbirds puppets, which is like fantastic.
I love that idea, especially because, you've got Ben Browder and Claudia Black who are totally used to working with puppets.
Yes. Teal'c pitches a hard-boiled noir detective idea.
Indeed.
But the clip that we're going to see is Vala's suggestion, played by Claudia Black, and it happens to be a little bit of a Farscape parody.
How about this one? We were in a cloaked cargo ship on a simple 3-hour reconnaissance mission.
Gilligan's Island, right?
You got that from 3-hour reconnaissance mission.
Piece of advice. If you're gonna rip something off, think of something a little more obscure.
Oh, okay. Call me Farbot, but they're gonna have our MIV-ons on a platter if we don't starburst the drives out of here.
House has been damaged. We're not going anywhere.
Oh, Dren.
Asmara!
Pharrell.
Oh, son of a Hasmot! Yots!
Okay, you got me. I have no idea what that is.
It's perfectly ridiculous and what you should expect from a time skip, jumping portals back in time, different planets kind of show.
I love that one has Shanks as Ben Browder's character just to kind of fuck with everything.
Yes, and also one of the Thor aliens, whatever the Asgardians,
As
Rigel.
Asgardian.
As Rigel. It's like, what the
Thor
fuck
alien.
is going on? Hey, I watched.
Well, he was
technically
one of them.
Yeah, that was the idea.
Yeah, and one of them was called Thor. He's not wrong.
Yeah. Shut up.
But yes, also the Thor, the Asgardian is actually meant to be Rigel. And Teal'c's meant to be what's the big guy from Farscape? The chat's going to yell at me. Dargo.
Thank you. I know this.
I know this one.
Chewie.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
recommend,
He was from Vulcan and he was called Spock.
Oh, they do. Oh my god, they also do a Star Trek parody, and it's so good.
All the parodies
Ben
are good.
Browder's William Shatner impersonation is quite good.
When
I
when
feel like watching that episode, even though I didn't actually
Oh,
watch
you
that far
should.
into
You
Stargate
should.
SG1.
You don't even need to understand the show to watch that episode and find it funny. It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, when science fiction starts eating itself, it's hilarious because the only true fans of science fiction are people who have watched a lot of science fiction. And if they're working on a show, then they are just going to be like, oh, I've got jokes for you. We're doing a parody show? I have a folder.
And I'm pretty sure when we said, hey, what are we going to do for episode 200? I said something along the lines of a wormhole time travel alternate universe episode.
Well, there you go. You have served it up.
Which you kind of get in this.
Yeah, I love that episode. I remember, like, I came to Stargate really late. Like, it had, I think, actually the series had finished.
Oh.
So I'd watched a couple of seasons maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and then much like Smallville and lots of other things, it went off free-to-air TV, and I just didn't follow it.
That's
And-
why I lost track of it, because I was watching it as it rolled out, and then they moved the night, or I don't know, Stargate Universe came on instead, and I was like, "What's this shit? This isn't SG1." So I just lost
Atlantis
the
and
thread.
Why is Begbie in space?
I remember being extraordinarily confused at one point where I turned on the show and I was like, "Is this Farscape?" Like, because the two lead actors from Farscape had suddenly showed. I was like, I am really fucking confused now.
Yeah.
And I'd missed out however many seasons or whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. What happened to the gold? What? Okay, cool.
Yeah, true. Like bad time slots, bad season numbering. Like, oh, what are we putting? Oh, we'll put up a Stargate episode. It's episode 9 of season 3. Okay. Next week is episode 2 of season 2.
Well, this is the call, the clarion call of all sci-fi viewers here in Australia, is that we know what it's like to have our series completely dicked around.
Yeah.
Anytime that there was football, anytime there was cricket, anytime there was something else, what got pushed?
Well, that time that they moved Buffy to a later time slot without warning because it got sexy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I remember when Thursday night was sci-fi night, you'd had Millennium, then you had Babylon 5, and then I think there was another one. There were 3 in a row, but you'd sign up for Thursday night. Yeah, sweet. And then,
They just move it.
Great, cricket's on.
Yeah, the tennis is running late. Oh, okay, great. All those
So
bastards
I've gone
in America.
for another one that I tuned in on free-to-air television weekly, without fail, with the whole family throughout the 90s, and that is ER, and it was my favorite show.
Do you want to know a
from
little secret?
1995 through to somewhere when I decided that Buffy was my favorite show. Like that, I gave it a good few years of my absolute devotion. And Dr. Carter, I think, was one of my very first television crushes. So this is a show that I had definitely watched through to the 200th episode. And I remember seeing this particular episode. And I watched it again last night because I thought I was going to talk about it. I should have a look.
Just watch it again. No
You
problem.
did the
It's been a
homework, and
while.
I'm
It
so
did-
proud of you.
It did air in 2008, so it's
wow.
been a while. That sounds like a
Oh,
recent
wow.
date. Think about it. It's not.
12 years.
12 years ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, I saw ER in the chat thread discussing about what people's picks were, and I was like, what's It did take me like
Sorry,
a solid...
not 2008, 2003.
Oh, wow.
Earlier. earlier than that. It was finished by 2008. So they did a special episode for their 200th episode because it is quite a milestone. And what they did was a really clever new storytelling device where they decided to pick two of the main characters, Dr. Pratt and Dr. Carter, and they told their two stories of a day shift and a night shift that came after each other, but they intercut them together. So it was basically an episode built on a lot of clever match cuts and a lot of brilliant long takes, which was kind of par for the course for ER. It's what they did. You could basically run the Steadicam around the entire set following doctors. It's like, if you haven't watched ER ever, this is actually one that, this is something that I can nerd out about. Highly recommend watching this show because it really broke a lot of ground in terms of how a television drama could be filmed. I mean, this thing was based on the emergency department of a city, Chicago City Hospital, and most of the action happened in the emergency department. So the thing is constantly moving and the camera is constantly moving, and they're very, very clever the way they pass cameras. They use the Steadicam to pass between shots in a way that most shows would just use 2 or 3 cameras. So it's very cool. It's a lot of fun. It's super high energy. And it was, kind of a cool episode. And the big draw card of the episode was that it happened during a solar eclipse. So there's,
of course,
special 200th episode, solar eclipse, playing with the whole day and night thing. Dr. Pratt, Dr. Carter. Dr. Carter has a good night. Dr. Carter has a terrible day. Dr. Pratt has a good night. And it's a fun episode to watch. Would recommend. I think we have a clip, but it's not it's a look.
Well, let's see.
Maybe. I've got to say, it was hard to find a clip from like an 18-year-old television show. So
we'll see how we go. All right, here comes some
How about this one? We were in a cloaked cargo ship.
Chest tube and innovation tray! No, wait, Turner, you're bleeding. Security!
Oh no, it was a whole bunch of kids stabbing each other.
Well, yeah, there was like some kind of gang war happening in this episode, like the ER's overfull with patient, but the ER was kind of always overfull with patients.
What I want to know is...
kind of is the basis of the show. But when you look at it, these days, it must have been an incredibly expensive show to produce because the whole premise of what they were doing is that it was happening in this ER that was always super, super busy. So not only did they have this giant set that you could just move a Steadicam all the way around, and they were doing all of these long takes with actors ducking in and out and saying lines, the background is always just full of extras. Just full of people just like milling around, walking around, running up and down hallways. And it gives it this real feeling of urgency all the way through, which is what they were going for. And a lot of people were saying kind of at the time it was the most realistic fictional depiction of, working in an American hospital that had been on television. Yeah, it's okay. Well, Falling Skies wasn't great. But
sorry, that's in the chat. There's been a discussion
I just got distracted by people just, bashing on my beautiful Dr. Carter.
So that being Noah Wiley, is that the...
Yes.
Right. So this is
he's brilliant. They're brilliant. All of the actors in that show are absolutely brilliant. Ming-Na Wen is also in this particular episode. She was absolutely great. I just don't know how they learned all of those tricky medical lines and then pulled off all of these long takes. Like, you'd think they'd have to, fuck it up and stop and start again or cut to another camera to get around where they've said something wrong. But cool show. Love that show, guys. If I'm gonna start with Discworld, somebody needs to also do an ER marathon from episode 1 with me.
How many episodes?
It's only 15 seasons.
Only.
It's just like doing Supernatural.
Yeah, but that took me 15 years.
Look,
Oh,
I
God.
believe that our producer Felicity may have a space in her schedule now that she's no longer doing Grey's Anatomy. So
Yeah, she did manage to binge that in a couple of months. So
yeah, so I reckon I
These
would
things can
hand
happen, guys.
only 15 years of
Yeah.
I remember watching it when it was the first couple of seasons and people were like, it was still the big show on TV that everybody was talking about, and it was good. It was well made. It felt really high end production wise, but then I had no idea it went that long.
I stopped watching when George
Well,
Clooney
look, it
left.
probably jumped the shark soon after the episode that we're talking about. But
Right.
yeah, I got a lot of good television out of it.
So, okay, one question for that is, this is the 200th episode. Sorry.
No, that's his question. Yeah, that's the 200th episode.
How many did it end up getting?
That is information that I don't have in front of me right now. Give me a second.
Okay, I'll my apologies. I always find it interesting because there are so many shows that got to like 700, 800, whatever. And then there are the ones that I looked at who got to 199.
Yeah. Well, this was a season 9 episode and there were 15 seasons. So it kept going strong for quite a while.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
going strong might not be the right way to describe it in the last seasons, but
It kept limping along like
Aw.
some unfortunate, slowly dying thing.
I mean, don't forget that we're talking about our 200th episode, so let's not, be too derisive about
Oh, wow.
things that go for a while.
Slowly limping along, dying.
It's us.
Yeah.
What's
Whoa.
that smell? Oh, it's us.
Just be right back, just booting Peter off the stream.
Did you bring a 200th for us?
Yeah, what did you bring for the class, Dion?
Me?
Sorry?
Yeah, I did bring a 200th episode. Well, I mean, I didn't really bring a 200th episode. I more brought an idea of the fun behind a show that has hit the 200 episode milestone and then continued on forever and ever. Because I chose The Simpsons.
Oh my
who
God.
have definitely had 200 episodes, and their 200th episode, I've got you beat here, was back in 1998.
Holy shit!
Yeah, of season 9. So 1998 of season 9 was Trash of the Titans, where Homer becomes the sanitation officer of Springfield and fucks everything up. But that's not particularly why I kind of got it. I thought, like, what is a great thing about The Simpsons? Like, everyone has their own Simpsons, idea and what's so great about it. But I love the couch gags. And I love seeing what they are as a bit of a throwaway. So I decided to play a couch gag, which may not be a gag to a few people, but it's a gag to me. So let's see if it works.
What fun times!
How about this one? We're in a
A package of sunshine and ravioli. Macaroni, if you want the thing you love.
You did it! Congratulations! World's best cup of coffee. Great job, everybody. It's good to meet you.
That was a weird one. That's a weird couch gag, but
I mean, that's an in joke.
that wasn't actually it. I've got one. Okay, right.
We were in a cloaked cargo ship on a simple 3-hour...
Very good. Yeah.
Yep, that's something else. Hey.
Yeah.
Family, meet me at the kitchen cube.
I am Simpson. I am Simpson. I am Simpson. Don't have cow.
Don't have cow, man. That was one of the best kind of weirdest
That's weird.
Simpsons couch gags you've
dig
ever
it.
seen. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
is there very much more you can say about that? I feel like that clip has said a lot.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
Look, I mean,
And at the same time, nothing.
it goes on for another 4 minutes of just
what?
Yeah, I know that's the whole sort of thing. But I just love it. Just going into the future and just being like, what the hell? It's like, oh yeah, it's 3,000 years in the future. The Simpsons is still going. It's now like Samson, episode quality, family.
Well, you know that there is a play based on that entire concept.
We did you come to watch it with us?
I did.
Yes.
And it was wonderful.
Yes.
If anyone can remember what it's called.
I'll shout out
Mr.
to
Burns.
I'll shout out to Poke who got that one. Yes, it was Don Hertzfeld.
Right.
Very weird.
So yeah, there is a magnificent play, and if you can ever see it put on, I don't know. We saw it here in Sydney, 5 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, a Belbar, I think.
Yeah.
It's called Mr. Burns, a post-electric play.
And it is a beautiful piece of theatre, really, really clever. It's set post-apocalyptic. Like it's literally the world has just been blown up in, some kind of nuclear apocalypse, and people are wandering around the world, trying to work out who's still alive and everything. It's in the 3 acts. The first act is set just after the apocalypse, and they meet each other and start having conversations going, hey, do you remember that Simpsons episode? Oh man, yeah, there was the one that was based on Cape Fear. And, and they start sort of, having this conversation and trying to remember the parts of the episode and everything. Second part of it is 50 years down the track. And now society continues on, but there's wandering troops of players who reenact Simpsons episodes. And it's so good. And then there's
and memories of Simpson episodes become like a kind of currency.
Yeah.
Somebody might remember the beginning
system.
of a line, somebody else might remember the end of it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And like the best ones are the ones that are the complete episodes that people can put on, and then they'll be like, but I remembered a different line slightly differently. But then there's they also do the ads for that went in the ad breaks, and they make them up, and it's amazing. Act 3 is another 100 and something odd years in the future, and The Simpsons has become a complete religion.
Yeah. And it is,
Yeah.
and,
I like
and
the
it's,
concept of this play.
It's fantastic. If there's ever a theatre company near you putting it on, it is well worth checking out.
If you happen to run a theatre company, maybe you should put it on because it's really good.
Again.
And I feel like that very highbrow recommendation is maybe, a nice way to round out our 200th episode.
Yeah. Not with dick and fart jokes.
Full class.
Yeah. Yes, it has been an absolute pleasure, and I thoroughly have enjoyed.
I'm just going to go back to yes, and after the theatre, when you want to come back, and next on Mastermind.
Hang on, I was going to change my virtual background, and then I realized no, that's not what I want to do. There, okay, now I'm on TV.
Very cute.
Yeah. That's how we roll around here. And now if I do that.
I'm on TV too.
Hey, there we go.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, we're evolving now into just playing with filters.
Yeah.
Don't ruin the magic. Don't ruin
200
the magic,
episodes
Peter.
later, and this is what we're doing.
This is what it's come to, guys.
Yeah.
Look, deal with it, Peter.
So classy.
Deal with it.
Now, something I do want to say, a very, very big fuck's sake. I want to say
a big fuck's sake is yes. That sums it up nicely.
Oh God, and he even has a soundboard. I've been doing this.
It's good to be back.
I do want to say very, very heartfelt. I'm going to turn off the fucking filter because it's driving me spare.
Bye. See you, Quinny. No, he just moved. He just fucking switched. There you go. He just moves around. He's going, bang, I'm out of here. Fuck, I'm going down here. I'm going up there.
I'm going to stop all of this silliness and say Dion and I and Felicity a long time ago said, hey, we should do a thing together. And initially that thing was going to be a TV show. And we crowdfunded it, and we got the support of a lot of people who went to bat for us and believed in us and said, hey, you guys should do something together because we think you're great and we think you're funny and we want to see what you can do. Now, that TV show didn't happen. But as a part of that, we got to go to America and go to New York Comic Con and meet a whole bunch of people and have a wonderful time. And then we
Is
realized,
that what you did with the crowdsourced money?
that was part of what the whole thing was. That crowdsourced money was to allow us to go and shoot our pilot.
The pilot.
Yeah, no, it was to shoot the pilot of that show. And since then, we've been trying on and on to make a TV show. And then when that didn't work, we were like, okay, then let's put out content. Let's make a podcast. And this podcast, we did 5 episodes where we went, okay, let's just see if we can make this. And then we decided, yeah, let's do this. Let's make this a real thing. And so for 200 episodes now, we've been doing this and making it a real thing. And COVID came along and made us have to make it into a TV show again.
But it's on the internet.
Yeah.
It's like a television show, but on the internet.
Which is, funnily enough, what we originally intended to do.
Yeah, only 22,800 episodes to go, Quinny. We're going to beat the Germans.
Beat them like you did in 45, boys.
Yeah. But I wanted to say thank you very much to everyone who has joined in, to the people who have joined us every week, who have been doing our live show with us for now however long we've been doing this. Thank you. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you to the people who crowdfunded us. And also just thank you to all of the amazing guests that we've had over the course of these years. There have been a lot. Dion, who's a favorite guest of yours?
All of them.
Political answer. Well done.
No. Honestly, everyone, anyone who's donated their time and effort and energy, and that is my favorite guest / viewer / everyone. Anyone who has actually stopped for 5 minutes, even 30 seconds, and gone, it's fine. That's great. But it's been great, and I'm so thankful for all of you and you guys for coming and doing this. It's been fun.
It has.
It's been fun.
And 200, and now only again. 22,800 more, and we will finally beat that East German weird animator who is going to die soon. So, not too much more coming out from him.
Yeah, to the people who have also been really generous as well and have donated to our Ko-fi and everything. Thanks. You. It's hugely generous of you, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you to everybody that joins us every week on the chat. It's been so wonderful getting to know you all. And we appreciate your Ko-fi donation so much.
Yeah.
And
also, coming up, we're going to make some changes. Yes, we're going to.
It's nothing scary. Don't worry. No. It's not you. It's us.
Yes.
Don't freak them out like that.
There's a few things that we'd like to try and do to, make the show better and perhaps make even more of the show. So keep an eye out for that. I very, very much want to say thank you to Peter and to Jill. You guys are amazing. But also thank you for coming in and being a part of this weirdness.
It has been my absolute pleasure. And I have to say, this is the best outlet for me to just vent all of my nerdy shit. And it's great to do it with people that are into it and want to hear us talk about it. So thank you so much for bringing me along on this ride.
Yeah. Oh, and to somebody who's, I think, still in the chat, but maybe riding her bike right now, I'm not entirely sure. To Beck, our lovely Ardella, who has been one of our most regular go-tos. We can't do this show without, we can do this show without you. We just don't like doing it without you.
Yes, that's a big point of difference.
Yes. We love having you guys around. So to everybody, down the bottom, there are all of the people who have been involved in the ticker. So they're down there somewhere doing the thing. Yeah. It's been a lovely time, and we're just going to keep doing it if that's okay with you.
Maybe a bit different, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less. We don't know yet. What shall the future hold?
And can I just shout out to our guy behind the scenes, Marcus, who helps us with our IT and running our website and doing all that hard tech guru stuff that we know nothing about.
Who?
Yeah, that guy.
Who? Doesn't he live in Norway or something? That's very far away.
Yes, but he may even be awake sometimes. We're not entirely sure. If he comes in here, I'm pretty sure he never uses his real name. So
No, he knows all about the servers and the internets and the tubes.
yes, he does. Like there are people who over the course of these years have put in a lot of effort and time and energy into making this whole thing, the website and all that kind of stuff, and it's been lovely. So we're just going to keep doing it.
Hooray! Happy 200th birthday, podcast
Yay.
birthday. Is it
Fuck, I
200th,
feel old.
200th
Happy
podcast birthday?
200.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Yay.
Well, join us again next week where we're going to do this some more.
What are we
and keep an
doing
eye out
next
because,
week?
there are some changes coming. We're going to make some new stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing.
What are we doing next week?
Yep.
Tune in to our Facebook or our Instagram to find out. Tune in. That's not what we do to those platforms, is it?
We do
References
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of those things. And please, I cannot say this enough. We would desperately love some feedback from you. So whether you can send us audio clips, if you can send it to the email address. Look, anytime there is a post that goes out on the website, all of the information is there. Please send us your feedback. I would really, really love to hear your voices because we love your words here in the chat, but I reckon it'd be even better to be able to play clips from you.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, now it's time for me to go and disreb out of this monkey suit from the 50s, put on some pat suit from the 60s.
Good.
I've been Dion.
I've been Quinny.
We're doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been Peter.
Been Jill.
And we have, for 200 episodes, been the periodic table of awesome. Good night.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not sit here counting zeros in a cubicle downtown. I wanna look out my window, see 'em flying, and swing across the horizon as I cheer 'em on so proud. Deep-powered girl keeps staring at her face, and call Colossus and have 'em teach me ways, and then we'd exercise. I'd be one of the guys. Martial arts from iron fist and wall. I'll dance her up and teach her all my songs. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not cooking up these heroes at my parents' restaurant now. I wanna yell out Avengers assemble, not order up for Ethel. Yeah, we're out of cheeky now. Date Emma Frost and have her read my mind. Or Magdalena, her artifacts I find, and then we catch a symphony